The Biden administration, in terms of applying the rules of law, put politics first, and national security second, and certainly the rule of law last. There's a lot going on here in Washington, D.C. There's been a big commotion over these leaks that took place of classified information, seemingly military information, about the war in Ukraine. And it involves intelligence about U.S. views on Ukraine. It suggests that maybe there's U.S. troops on the ground in Ukraine, and some other intelligence about the Russians and such. So it's all very secret, all very top secret, and allegedly this young man, enlisted guy, Jack Teixeira, I think his name is pronounced, was arrested, and he's being charged with the leaks. And he's 21. Now, immediately people think there's something fishy. How could someone so young have access to all of this sensitive and classified information? Well, there's a multitude of scandals there. A, the military has lots of young men and women in it. B, just because they're young doesn't mean they don't have access to top secret information. And in fact, too many people have security clearances in Washington, D.C., not because they're necessary, it's because the government doesn't like information getting out to the American people. So they use the classification systems as a way to hide information from the American people, such as their real views on how the war in Ukraine's been going. I guess the document suggests that the unofficial view is a lot less optimistic than the official view, which is more optimistic for Ukraine's ability to fend off the Russians. On top of that, the other concern is, or the other skepticism, or the other basis for skepticism, is how quickly they were able to find this leaker. Now compare and contrast, and I'll be talking about this later, how quickly they found this leaker with the failure to find the leaker of the Dobbs decision, the pro-life decision by the Supreme Court, evidently leaked by a leftist to try to derail the decision that ultimately overturned Roe versus Wade. They still haven't found the leaker. The Supreme Court supposedly had an internal investigation. They couldn't figure it out. The Justice Department, I don't know what they're doing on it, but I suspect not much. Now, I suspect not much because the Justice Department and the White House and Democrats in Congress were probably in on the leaks, so they don't want to look too hard who's responsible for it. So it's just seemingly convenient that they find this guy so quickly. Does it mean this guy isn't the guy responsible? No. It just raises skepticism. Why is there skepticism? Because the Justice Department is a purely political animal. The Biden administration, in terms of applying the rules of law, put politics first, and national security second, and certainly the rule of law last. And the other concern Americans have is the disparate treatment between some leakers and others. And there are two examples I would point out to you. You have the leak of President Trump's FBI files by James Comey, the former FBI director, who kept FBI files on Trump at his home and then leaked them to the New York Times in an effort to try to destroy Trump. So a former FBI director leaking material, specifically FBI files on a sitting president as part of a coup plot. Yeah, a coup plot, I said it. No prosecutions. And then, of course, separately, you had this misuse, and I believe illegal leaking of classified information on another Ukraine issue, specifically the Ukraine phone call, the perfect call, I think appropriately named by Trump, that Trump made related to corruption in Ukraine and here in the United States in the Biden gang. And Alexander Vindman and Adam Schiff, and a CIA official by all accounts. I don't think I can say his name. I think I'm allowed to say his name for Twitter, but I'm not allowed to say his name for YouTube or some other platforms. They were never investigated. In fact, they were protected. They still are protected. So the leaker They're calling him a whistleblower. Part of the coup impeachment against Trump is not only not prosecuted, but we're not allowed to say his name. Okay? So forgive me in thinking that any prosecution of this kid should be weighed by the public in terms of analyzing whether justice is being fairly administered by looking at how Comey was prosecuted or not prosecuted, or how Alexander Vindman and his co-leakers, I would say, and Adam Schiff were prosecuted or not prosecuted. And of course, there were leak after leak after leak of national security classified information targeting Trump world. Virtually no one was prosecuted. I think there was one prosecution out of some former Senate staffer. That was it. So when it comes to the prosecution of leaks, if you do something in a way that makes life difficult for the establishment, you'll get nailed. If you do something in a way that targets the right politicians, political figures, or movements, meaning Trump, as we've seen recently, you not only get a medal, I say that figuratively, but you get protected and a get out of jail free card. So you can bet we're going to be looking very carefully about at this Ukraine leak scandal, because he's going to be prosecuted, but he's innocent until proven guilty, and even if he's potentially guilty, we should be asking whether he's being prosecuted in a way that others were not and should have been. Can you say Hillary, for example? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.